Okay, to elaborate on what I was talking about in the past video I just did, I'm proposing that when Doom was talking about back in Chapter 5, Season 4, after we players defeated him, that we would never escape Doom. What if that Doom was actually Snoop Dogg that makes us travel back in time to the Chapter 2 map? Now, people would be like, what? You're crazy. Snoop Dogg's not the villain type. And honestly, I agree. If you look at where the map, where it says the Dog Pound, that used to be Midas's mansion from back in the original time Chapter 2 was around. Now, granted, I never played Chapter 2 or 3. I started playing again, like, late Chapter 4-ish. Missed the Big Bang then. Like, trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. See where Frenzy Farm is on the map there? Where the cursor is? It's in a very similar place to Reckless Rails from Chapter 5. Before the Fort Nightmares, where it got transformed into Freaky Fields, which means this and Reckless Rails are linked in some way. Now, as to why I believe Snoop Dogg would probably be the bad guy of the season. Firstly, we got Midas's mansion that he took over somehow. And Meowsitis is the fusion between Midas and Meowsitis is the fusion between Meowsicles, I believe that's the cat's name, and Midas. And it looked like they kind of fused with the fusion dance. Don't know how that works. Point is, Meowsitis, which is their fusion, is secondhand to, is like one of the army stuff to Snoop Dogg, the henchman to Snoop Dogg. Whereas Meowsicles back in the original time Chapter 2 was around, he was secondhand to none other than Midas himself. So which means something happened when Snoop Dogg showed up and sent us back in time. Because when he did, somehow he managed to overthrow Midas, used him with Meowsicles? I forget the cat's name. And then, like, the Meowsicles side of the character is what makes him loyal to Snoop Dogg. Now, why would I think Snoop Dogg be the villain of the season? Of this remix of Chapter 2? Well, why do you think Doom was the main threat in Chapter 5, Season 4? Because he cooperated with the Imagined Order, or I.O. I did, watch a lot of punk side videos regarding the storyline of Fortnite's Chapter 5. So, he could explain more about it. I should probably subscribe to him after this Fortnite theory video, honestly. But what I'm going at is that, like, because of what he researched, Dr. Doom was actually chosen by the Imagined Order to try to take over the Fortnite island. And the way, of course, is via the 0 point, in which I actually had no idea that was a thing until I looked at the punk side videos revolving around it. But the 0 point is basically the core of all realities. It is the singularity among singularities. And so is also sentient in a way. Because between events that start up the next chapter, we see it in some way or another being used to change the fabric of the world of Fortnite. And what I'm guessing is that Snoop Dogg is there because he was chosen by the Imagined Order, because he is an influencer. No, not what I mean by, like, the ones you would see on TikTok or whatnot. I'm saying, like, I'm not going about this the wrong way. What I'm saying is, like, in the lore of the game, he makes music. Like, and credit to him for doing his music thing, because, like, he's got skill. I'll give him that. But why would the Imagined Order actually choose him? Of all people? For one thing, to regain control of this island through the 0 point. And I believe the location of the 0 point is none other than underneath the dog pound itself, right in the middle of this lake. Now, what I'm saying here will be through speculation, of course. If the IO actually did pick Snoop Dogg, but what if he actually wasn't chosen? What if instead he was forced to, or maybe brainwashed by the IO to do their bidding to reclaim control of the island? And because Snoop Dogg, real life, not a bad dude. He's not. But real life is different from video games, so whatever a person acts as in real life, it's not the same as if they are in a video game. That's for sure. Which brings us back to the way we faced off against Doom in Chapter 5, Season 4. I did help win that fight, and he had a lot of help. 2 trillion points. But it makes me wonder, by the end of the Chapter 2 OG Remix season, we have something similar going on leading up to the launch of the Doomsday device. Which makes me wonder, was he actually sent back in time, or forced back in time, and then forced us to travel back in time to stop the Doomsday event from happening in the first place? Now, that is unknown. Or that we would have to, like, wait for towards the end of the season. But then again, we don't know. That's pretty much up to interpretation. The story of Fortnite is weird. So it is possible that Snoop Dogg could be the overarching villain of this particular season. But in like a similar way as to Victor Von Doom, as he's doing it because he's lost something he's cared about, or either that, or the imagined order knows what he could do with his music and basically brainwashes him to join their cause to reclaim the island. And in either one of these cases, it stands to show that this is just speculation, my own speculation, which, hey, I'm not part of Epic Games. I don't know what they do behind the scenes there. But what I'm saying, it probably means that we may actually be facing a massive boss battle against Snoop Dogg towards the end of the season for the typical Doomsday event. And there is evidence for this, because Midas was one of the medallion bosses of when Chapter 2 first came around, and look who overtook his mansion. Snoop Dogg, who is also looked to be a medallion boss, because he's got the medallion boss stuff that goes well with how medallion bosses work. But then again, if we end up facing him in an epic battle, it would probably be some insane rap battle type thing, where after we do like disses or whatnot, we then fire upon him to deplete his health, in a way. But honestly, I don't know what Epic Games is doing for it, so I'm not one for spoiling things. We could have a typical normal boss battle, or something as epic as we had against Doom, of course. But then again, this is all just speculation. How Snoop Dogg himself ties up into the plot of this game and the game's story? Well, what if he was actually sent to target Jonesy and actually be the one to basically reduce him to shreds once and for all? Now we don't know how, but it is possible we already know the why. And that is to do of the fact that Jonesy betrayed the imagined order and Gina. So and since Gino is the leader of the imagined order, he is the one that picks and chooses who becomes part of the imagined order and who works with them. So Doom was picked as a chosen member of the IO by Gino. Who's to say that Snoop Dogg did not do the same thing, or was forced to, or was brainwashed to? In any sense, it makes me think that what we will deal with at the end of the season is not only a remix of the Doomsday event, but we will also have a collective battle against Snoop Dogg. And this is probably what something the IO wants, as it involves the 0 point. Which, if you think about it, would make sense to be located underneath a large lake. And what's on top of that? In any sense, I think it makes sense because of the way the map is laid out. But not only that, in the prelude, like the trailers for this, you actually see him in Midas's spot from the original part of Chapter 2. Which, Midas was the one that wanted to break the loop. And it didn't go well for him, of course. So what if Snoop Dogg actually was going to be doing the same thing, but not the same thing? He's sent to stop the Doomsday event from happening by everyone sending him back by the IO sending him back in time, thus keeping the loop intact. Now, I know this is a wild swing. So yeah, I know it's a wild swing, but think about it. Why else would the IO recruit such celebrities and villains? The answer? To harness the power of the 0 point. So the goal is to try to harness the power of the 0 point and get it back under their control. And what do you know? Is that Snoop Dogg as a medallion boss himself? Ow. That is Snoop Dogg. That is Snoop Dogg right there. Love to see it. A nice place to finish. So yeah, confirmed Snoop Dogg is a medallion boss. So, it stands to reason that he could actually be the final boss of the season. In what way, shape, or form is unknown, and is totally speculative. But judging based on the facts and evidence it stands that Snoop Dogg will probably be a likely case to be the final boss of the Chapter 2 remix season. Because there's that. Nice place to end up dying at 69. Love to see it. Now, why Snoop Dogg? Why would the IO pick him? In comparison to Doom, Doom is a villain who tried to take over the island for his own nefarious purposes. Snoop Dogg may actually not have the same intentions, but instead actually want to gather people to actually help him make henchmen, if you figure it out. But yeah, is Snoop Dogg the threat that Victor Von Doom was talking about back in when we defeated him in Chapter 5, Season 4? It stands to reason that it's possible, provided with what we got from the evidence from the way the map is, the location of the mansion, which is right on top of where the 0 point is. By the way, and a few other reasons, such as he is a medallion boss. So there is something going on. Anyways, this is just my own Fortnite theory. I cannot confirm or deny anything of the sort. Because, if anything, people make their own assumptions based off of speculation that they see on the map and whatnot. But then again, everyone is different when it comes to what their own things. Anyways, this is just a theory. A Fortnite theory, of course. Anyways, you know who I am, and for those about to rock, we salute you. I bid you adieu. Peace.